decluttering habit number 4. This one's a little bit about ego. This is about letting your ego go and remembering that you are on this loving your home journey for you. You're doing this for yourself. So sometimes you gotta let go of the ego a little bit, let go of the resentment, and remember what you're really doing here. Why are we doing this? You're doing this so you can pour some love into your home, which comes back to you. It always comes back to you. It's pouring love into yourself. Pouring love into yourself, which then ripples out into the rest of the family. So, habit number 4. Pick up things that don't belong to you and don't complain about it. And do it with gratitude. So, I used to not do this. I would just complain and gripe and nag. Even just if it were in my head, I would just complain and gripe and nag and like, oh my gosh, why doesn't anybody else pick up after themselves? I would always say to myself, I'm the only one that cares. I'm the only one that does this, and it's so frustrating. And so it was frustrating, and it became more frustrating because I just kept thinking those thoughts and not picking the things up that didn't belong to me. Or if I did pick them up, I did it with resentment. I was so frustrated because I had just asked somebody else to do it. Or I had asked them 500 times to do it, and then they would do it, and then it would be thrown on the floor again. I hope it's not just me. Does that sound familiar to anybody else? The resentment, the frustration? So instead of feeling frustrated and resentful, lean into the love, don't complain, and find some gratitude in the situation and pick up whatever it is that's bothering you. And you might have to take baby steps with this. You might have to ease into it because there's probably years of resentment built up, and I get that because I had that too. So picking up your husband's shoes for the 100th time may be a little much for you, but just pick them up and don't pick anything else up. Or maybe pick your child's things up. So trying to do it on a daily basis and finding the love and the gratitude. And I'm looking at the floor like my husband's shoes are down here. They are not, but picking up, I'm just envisioning myself doing that over and over again. And it finally just becoming comfortable for me and finding the love in it. And oh my gosh, y'all, I love my husband so much. So many amazing things about him. So as I'm picking up his annoying stinky socks off the ground, I just lean into that and I try to switch my feelings to like all the amazing things that my husband does for me. And he does things for me. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up his socks and do it with gratitude, remembering the things that he does for me, or the sweet things maybe that he has said, or whatever. However you have to lean into the gratitude, just pick it up. And then eventually you just do it and you don't complain about it. You don't think about it, and you're not doing it for them. Please remember that. You're not picking up after somebody else for them. You're doing it for you. You are doing it to release the resentment for yourself. So when you release resentment and anger, you don't do it for the other person. You do it 100% for you because you want to feel a certain way, right? You want to feel a certain way when you are in your home. And more than likely, I bet I'm right here. I bet you don't want to feel resentment and anger and frustration. Those are probably not the core desired feelings that you're wanting, correct? So release that and pick those things up off of the ground almost as a symbolic way for you to say, I'm releasing this. To remind yourself every day of how you really want to feel, and doing it just almost ritualistically and doing it for yourself, to remind yourself of how you really do want to feel, and remembering that the people in your home are in your home because you love those people, right? They're there because you love them. And eventually things will work themselves out. And I want you to look at the next habit because it kind of leads into the next habit. So pick things up with gratitude in your heart and no complaining when they don't belong to you. And then when you have to do it again the next day and the next day, just make it a habit for yourself and do it for you and not for them.